Bilvavi on Breathing, Part 2 of 10. Questions and answers with the Rav about the avoda of breathing. Question: what's the connection between breathing and the sense of smell? Is it simply because both of these come from the nose? Answer: a very good question. The sense of smell utilizes our nose, and then we are better able to deepen our breathing, which comes in through the nose. Before you begin the breathing exercises, it is indeed recommended to first inhale the scent of something holy, such as an esrog that was used on Sukkot, or besamim that was used for Havdalah. This opens the nose in the first place, and then we can deepen the sense of smell, and from deepening the sense of smell we can develop a deepened breathing. Through a physical smell which is found on this world, we can tread its path to open the nose and then enter the deep depth contained in breathing. It is therefore very recommended to start with inhaling a scent of something holy and use it as a way to enter into our breathing. Question 2. When a person supposedly feels something when he breathes in and out, how does he know if it's a real feeling and not if it's his imagination? Answer: usually nothing is ever a total fantasy, nor is anything a totally real feeling. There is always some degree of fantasy in everything we feel, and there is always some truth to what we are feeling in every feeling that comes to us. This is because everything we come across in our feelings is always a mixture of fantasy and feeling, and the only issue is in the percentages. How much of the feeling is real, and how much of the feeling is just being imagined. We always need to sort out what we are feeling and try to discern which parts of the feeling are real and which parts of it are in the imagination. In order to do this, we need to try to name precisely what we are feeling and refine our perceptions. Question 3. For those who haven't yet begun to recognize their inner world, how can they recognize if they are feeling something real about themselves or if it is just being imagined? Answer: if a person begins to feel something deep, that is a sign he is becoming connected to the real inner world. If a person is not used to it yet, he can get some idea of this, at least when he goes through an even that awakens his deepest feelings, such as when he feels pain or when he feels joyous. The very fact that he is beginning to sense deeper things is already an opening to the inner world. Question 4. How is the sense of smell the most spiritual of all the senses? Answer: it is because we can turn something physical into the spiritual. The physical sense of smell can be turned into a spiritual sense. A clear example of this was when they would smell the korbanos in the Beis Hamikdash, which gave off a pleasant smell, a reach nichoach to Hashem. When you smell the spirituality in something, smell becomes spiritual. This can be experienced when you smell something before it has been turned into physical uses, and on a deeper level, even if it has already been used for physical uses and it has been returned to its root. Question 5. How much time is needed for this breathing exercise? Although after we have already gotten past the first step and we are at the second step, should we still begin each day from the first step, or can we begin immediately each day from the step? Answer: at first, when you begin to get used to this, it should not be more than 3 minutes a day. After that, the amount of time you will need to spend on it depends on how far you have advanced in the avoda and if you are doing it correctly. However, no one should be spending more than 30 minutes a day on it. If you can try this avoda in the beginning of the morning, this is even better, as long as your schedule allows it. Question 6. After we succeed in the first step, can we go quicker with the second step? Answer: yes. But we must make sure that we've truly gotten past the first step and not try to move on quickly to the next step. First, we must feel that we have become connected to our breathing. Question 7. What should a person think during the first step as he is beginning to take breaths? Answer. In the first step, do not think about anything other than the focus on your breathing. Question 8. Should a person try to rid anything from his thought that hampers his focus on the breathing? Answer. Quiet the thoughts. Try to become aware of the breathing, and then after that, try to think more deeply into the breathing. Question 9. Should we sit or stand during this time? Should we close our eyes? Answer. However you are more relaxed. Question 10. The Rav mentioned that there are Gentile methods of breathing exercises. What exactly is the Rav referring to? Which parts of the non-Jewish breathing exercises are inappropriate for a Jew to use? Answer. The Torah's approach to the power of using breathing is not so that we should expel negative energy contained in the body and bring in positive energy. A Torah-approved method that is being somewhat mirrored in the Gentile practices of breathing is that a person can bring positive energy into his system. However, this is not being accomplished through the Gentile methods. A Torah-approved method would be to imagine a thought about something holy and to imagine that it is entering him or that it is his enveloping his body or something similar to this. The Gentile approach of breathing exercises, however, involves imagining a light that enters the body and purges it from all evil or negativity found in the body. This approach is heresy. The purpose of the Torah's approach towards breathing is that breathing enables us to reach HaKadosh Baruch Hu found in the depths of the soul. Unlike the Gentile methods, which are entirely self-focused, the Torah way of breathing exercises is to come to live with Hashem in our life through the breathing exercises. However, that is only reached at a much higher stage of the breathing, as we explained. But we must be able to bear it in mind even as we begin to work with our breathing. We must know that the goal of deepening our breathing is because it enables us to live with Hashem in our life. We can penetrate deeper and deeper into ourselves by imagining a holy thought that is entering us, and we can also think that it is purifying us. These two aspects are acceptable according to Torah, but the part where they imagine that a light is entering the body and cleansing out all the negativity, this is against the Torah, and it is basically a form of idol worship. Question 11. Does the Rav mean that one may imagine a certain holy thought entering his body as he is doing the breathing exercise? Answer. It may be done by imagining that it is found outside of oneself and that one wishes to bring it inside of himself. The way we have described using the power of breathing here in this class is a way of how we can get inside of ourselves as opposed to using external factors. However, it is certainly an acceptable method for one to imagine a pasuk or a certain holy thought about Amunah and to imagine that this is entering him and purifying him. But when doing so, the person must be aware that it is the holiness which is entering him and not that some other outer force or power is entering him and cleansing him. To think that the power is entering him is a method that has originated in the Gentile nations, and it borderlines on idol worship. I have had to speak about length about this topic because I am aware that many people are unfortunately using these improper methods in their breathing exercises. Question 12. Is the avoda of focusing on our breathing a separate matter from the power of levad alone, which the Rav has spoken about in Sefer Da'as Atzmacha, getting to know yourself? Does it get in the way of levad, or is it a part of levad? Answer. It is within the avoda of levad. There is a general avoda of acquiring the power of levad, but what do you once you're in the space of levad? Part of the avoda of being in the levad is to focus on your breaths. Question 13. In the first step, when we just focus on our simple act of breathing, should we think that Hashem is providing us with our breathing and enabling me to breathe? Or should I focus on the mere fact that I am breathing without thinking of Hashem is in the picture? Answer. In the very first step, the point is to become simply aware of your breathing, because the first step is to simply become aware of ourselves, way before we connect ourselves to Hashem. This is because in order to connect ourselves to Hashem, we need to first become aware of ourselves in the first place, and awareness of our breathing is one of the ways to accomplish this. Question 14. Is this avoda of breathing the same avoda as hispodadus, meditation, and as of talking to Hashem when we are alone? Is it an alternative to hispodadus, or is it something we need to practice besides for hispodadus? Answer. It is a separate avoda than hispodadus, not a replacement to hispodadus. It needs to be practiced outside of hispodadus. Question 15. Should a person try the avoda of breathing before doing hispodadus or after hispodadus? Answer. It doesn't make a difference if you do it before hispodadus or after hispodadus. Just like a person has to eat and sleep, so is there an avoda of breathing that is besides for the avoda of hispodadus. Question 16. What does it mean to reach a more inner place in oneself? Does it mean that you feel calmer? Does it mean that you feel more connected to yourself? Answer. Just like when you wade through a pool, you feel yourself getting deeper and deeper into it. So do you experience yourself going deeper and deeper the more you try to enter your panemius. The more you feel yourself, the more you can discern where you are. When a person becomes connected to panemius, it is an experience and you can feel it, and then there is no room for this question.